So yeah. 27M, might be the reason my sister's wedding ended in total disaster. I didn't mean for it to happen, I swear, but I also couldn't stand there and let her walk down the aisle pretending everything was fine when I knew it wasn't. And now my entire family hates me. My sister, Lydia, 29F, has always been the golden child, beautiful, confident, overachieving, the kind of person who posts perfect Instagram photos with #grateful captions. She met her fiancé, Dylan, 31M, 3 years ago at a tech conference. He's quiet, logical, and totally smitten with her. They looked like opposites, but it worked. Everyone thought they were this fairytale couple. I genuinely liked Dylan, good guy, solid morals, a little awkward but kind. I was actually honored when Lydia asked me to be best man, since she said Dylan's friends were hopeless with responsibility. At that point, I thought she was joking. Now, I realize she might have meant it literally. About a month before the wedding, Lydia called me late one night. She sounded weird, nervous, a little drunk maybe, and said, "Evan, promise you won't freak out. That's never a good opener." Then she said it. "I slept with someone else. Just once." It didn't mean anything. I froze. Like, full on, can't breathe, what did you just say? Silence. She rushed to justify it, said it happened after her bachelorette party, she was emotional, it was a stupid drunken mistake. I asked if she planned to tell Dylan, and she said no. It would destroy him. I love him, Ev. It was just one night, it doesn't define me. We argued for nearly 2 hours. I told her if she truly loved him, she had to come clean. She cried, begged me to let it go, and eventually said, "Please, for once, just support me." And like an idiot, I promised I wouldn't say anything. The week before the wedding was chaos. Lydia was manic, half ecstatic, half terrified. Dylan was over the moon. My parents were buzzing with pride, bragging to everyone that their firstborn was finally settling down. Meanwhile, I felt like I was carrying a live grenade. At the rehearsal dinner, Lydia looked radiant. Maybe guilt just looks good under candlelight. She kept giving me these pleading glances across the table, like she could read the guilt on my face too. That night, my girlfriend Sophie, 26F, pulled me aside. "You've been off all week," she said. "Just tired," I lied. "You're a terrible liar," she said, but didn't push it. Later, I found Lydia alone on the dock behind the venue. She was staring at the water like she wanted it to swallow her. "You still think I should tell him?" she asked quietly. "Yes," I said. "If I tell him, he'll leave," she whispered. "If I don't, I can live with it." I wanted to yell, to shake her, to tell her that living with it was just rotting slowly from the inside. But she looked so fragile. So I just said, "Then I hope you're right." I regret those words every day. The morning of the wedding, I woke up to a text from an unknown number. It was a photo. Lydia. In bed. With a man who was definitely not Dylan. The caption said, "Guess she didn't tell him." I felt my stomach drop to the floor. Sophie saw my face and asked what was wrong. I showed her the photo. She stared for a long moment and said, "You can't let her marry him like this." "It's her wedding day," I said. "Then maybe she shouldn't have cheated," she shot back. And she wasn't wrong. But I didn't know what to do. It was beautiful. Painfully beautiful. A lakeside ceremony, soft music, sunlight dancing on the water. Lydia looked perfect. Dylan was beaming like a man who just won the lottery. And I stood there, holding a secret that felt like it might burn through my chest. When the officiant reached the "if anyone knows any reason" part, my pulse started hammering. For a second, I thought I'd say something right there. But I didn't. She said, "I do." He said, "I do." Everyone cheered. And I wanted to throw up. At the reception, I was supposed to give a toast. I had written something funny and heartfelt, about our childhood, how Lydia once glued my fingers together, how Dylan was the calm she needed. But when I stood up, looking at their smiling faces, I couldn't do it. Sophie put a hand on my leg under the table and whispered. "Say what you need to say." And I did. God help me, I did. I had a nice speech prepared, I started, my voice shaking. But I think honesty is more important than perfection. The room went still. Lydia's smile froze. "Evan," she hissed, but I kept talking. "Lydia, you're my sister and I love you. But I can't stand here pretending everything's perfect when it isn't. Dylan, you deserve to start your marriage knowing the truth." People started whispering. Dylan frowned. "What truth?" Lydia's voice cracked. "Evan, stop." But I didn't. I pulled out my phone, set it on the table, and showed the photo. Gasps. A fork clinked onto a plate. Somewhere, someone whispered, "Oh my God." Dylan stared at the screen, then at Lydia. "Is that you?" She went pale. "It was one night," she said, tears spilling. "It didn't mean anything." He didn't say another word. He just walked out. Then came the chaos. Lydia screamed at me, full meltdown, mascara streaking, voice hoarse. My mom was crying, my dad was furious. Guests started leaving, filming, gossiping. Sophie grabbed me and pulled me outside before things got physical. Dylan was in the parking lot, pacing, eyes red. I tried to talk to him, but he just said, "You didn't ruin anything, man." She did. Then he got in his car and drove away. That night, Lydia blocked me on everything. My parents left me voicemail after voicemail, half sobbing, half yelling. Sophie told me I did the right thing, but I felt like I detonated a bomb in the middle of my own family. The marriage was annulled within days. The photographer canceled their album. Lydia moved back in with our parents, barely speaking to anyone. When my mom finally talked to me, she said, "You destroyed her life." And yeah, maybe I did. But she was the one who lit the fuse. 2 weeks later, Lydia texted me. "I hate you. But you were right. I couldn't have lived with it forever." That's all she said. No apology. No thank you. Just that. My parents still think I should have handled it privately. Lydia's still in therapy. Dylan moved to another city. Sophie and I are still together, but she says she's never seen me look so haunted. And maybe she's right. Sometimes, I lie awake replaying that moment, the silence before I spoke, the sound of glasses clinking, the photo glowing on the table. If I'd stayed quiet, Lydia would still be married, but living a lie. If I'd told her privately, she would have begged me not to tell him. So I said it publicly. And it destroyed everything. My family thinks I'm heartless. My sister says she'll never forgive me. Sophie says I did what no one else had the guts to do. But I keep wondering, was that truth worth the devastation? Did I do the right thing, or did I just ruin my sister's life for the sake of feeling morally superior? So yeah, AITA for exposing my sister's infidelity at her own wedding.